their Tuesday afternoon. We are a little early, but we're live. We were supposed to be at Tom's meet and greet tonight at Veterans Building, but I decided for the benefit of everybody to hold off from that. And reason being is that we wasn't sure if we were going to be able to get to anything with Jeff. Some of his meet and greets are kind of heavy out of town, like toward Cross Keys and Carlisle is what's on his itinerary right now. So I was pretty sure I wasn't going to be able to get to his this week. So I decided to make sure that we keep this completely fair, and I decided to just hold off. So sorry, I'm trying to bring up the chat. Hopefully everybody's having a good Tuesday afternoon, and looks like things are starting to semi get back to some normalcy, except for like some bigger towns like Greenville, stuff like that. I seen where they extended the restriction for masks inside of restaurants, stuff like that. And, but the WHO has come out and said that governments need to pull restrictions from these towns because it's actually doing more damage than it's helping. So something Donald Trump said over a month ago, if not longer, the WHO finally has come out and concurred with him. So, Donald Trump has a lot of people that he talks to. Hey, Jeannie, how you doing? Hey, Susie. Donald Trump has a lot of doctors, a lot of good people around him that is telling him the effects of what is causing. I mean, if you notice people around you a little bit more grumpy, they're a little bit more irritated, they're depressed and stuff like that. That's not just by the changing of the season. That's by what we're having been going through. But that's another show, another day, another way. Like I said, we were supposed to be at Tom's tonight, but we decided to hold off from that. We are actually going to be prepping for the debate. Thursday night, we should, if we get everything set up in time, me and Jerry should have a broadcast live at the Elks Lodge to test everything, to kind of give y'all a feel of what it's going to be like. And let me pop this up on the screen. I'm doing good, Jeannie. Doing good. Thanks for asking. Hope you are as well. Let's pop this up here real quick. A lot of people have been asking. The debate is October the 16th, which is Friday at 7 p.m. If you're wanting to attend, definitely got to get there before 7, because once it starts, we've got to keep any kind of disturbances down to a minimum so that way people can hear, concentrate. I don't want anything breaking concentration. One thing that we wanted to make clear, that if you have children, we're really asking no children below the age of 14, because this is going to be something they find completely boring. They're kids. They're not going to find this entertaining in any way, shape, or form. But if you do have to bring your children, we understand. Just make sure that we can try to keep from having any outbursts, or anything like that, because it affects these candidates. These candidates have put in a lot of money, a lot of time, and we want to make sure that they're heard. And, so if it's all possible, maybe try to see if you can get a babysitter, come out, listen to the debate, because this is a very, very important thing for Union County. Probably the biggest sheriff's run in the last 3 decades, in my opinion, but that's mine. As you can see, where you can send questions is to send 29379 at gmail.com. Let me go to the chat. What's up, Joe? Mary, how are you? Joetta, thank you. Ruthie, hey. Dexter. Cheryl, and Cheryl says Tom McAbee for sheriff. Dexter says Jeff Bailey for sheriff. Jill says write in Sam White for sheriff. So a good diversity in the chat of everybody pulling for their candidate. But in the end, no matter who wins, we've got to live in this town together. And I'll tell you what, because of one guy, and remember, it took one guy to really distract and defract from the David Taylor incident back in March. And we all know who that guy was. He's in North Carolina, whatever. He really derailed the attention that it deserved with our sheriff then. And we honestly probably could have got some results done a little bit quicker if we hadn't been concentrating on his butt so much. And just so everybody knows, that guy is still saying that he's in the running for sheriff. Guy, he was never in the running for sheriff, ever. He was never qualified. He never had it. So I hope nobody's believing that guy. I'm not even going to say his name. That's how unimportant he is to me. But now there's another guy who has started a circle of nastiness and now it's kind of trickled down to people who are surrounding themselves in the campaign with the candidates. And this has been one of the cleanest sheriff campaigns, after the Three Stooges were eliminated. This has been one of the cleanest campaigns that I've really ever seen. But it's starting to take another route as we're getting closer to November, and I'm asking not only those people to stop it, but we also got a request to the candidates themselves that they got to get control of their supporters. Like I say, you look at what, in my opinion, this is all my opinion. One of the candidates, they had 2 followers, from the Three Stooges, they had 2 followers. That if you were talking about anybody but their candidate for sheriff, they cussed you. They tried to embarrass you. They did everything they could. They bashed you. They called you names. And it just took all these votes from that candidate. And the same thing can happen to your candidate. Be cordial, be nice. And who knows, you might turn a vote. But if you're going to be mean and ridicule each other, you're guaranteeing 100% there's no way they're voting for your candidate. Let's see. Yeah, we all got to support the sheriff. We got to. No matter who wins, we got to live with each other in this town. We got to be in this together no matter what, whoever wins. There only can be one winner. We have to support them. And in 4 years, if their job is not done the way we feel like it, then we get them out. That's the beautiful thing about democracy. That's right, J. Rock. We have got to have unity. We've got to have a sheriff who's going to be fair to anyone and everyone, no matter who they are, no matter whether it's part of the good old boy system or not. We got to have somebody who's beyond such things, and that's the real damage. That little internal clique, see, it's already been disrupted. We've already gotten out 3 guys that was a major part of the good old boy system. Major part. And as you can see, the tidal wave, the riptide, that it causes when you disrupt people's way of lives that have been living. And I'm not talking about just the candidates. I'm talking about the people around them. And if you look closely, it doesn't take much to realize who those people are. And when you affect their way of life, look out. I mean, they will do downright anything to keep their power, to keep their control, and to possibly even try to now entertain one of the new candidates to be in the part of the good old boy system. But hopefully that is not going to be something that happens. I believe we have 3 great candidates. They're going to be good for this town. And if not, we're going to be here to let them know. We have a lot of big races that's coming up. Some of the biggest ones is, like I say, Dr. Flood and Randy Ivey. We're hoping to have both of those gentlemen on soon. You got Sonia Craig, Greg Addison. We haven't heard a word from either one of them 2 in a while, which is a little unusual with Greg. Greg's usually pretty active on Facebook, and, a little concerned with him on that. We got to start seeing some activity from them. And then, other than the sheriff's race, probably the biggest race is right now is the mayor. And I don't want to throw any bias, so we'll wait till after the election. Like I say, sometimes the changing of the guard is not always a good thing. Sometimes changing of the guard is a really good thing, but not in every case. The mayor's position, I'm a little concerned. I have many disagreements at what Mayor Thompson allows and does and stuff like that, and I've made that clear from the start. But then I also have a little bit of a feeling with his running candidate. I'm not sure how to feel about him already. Guys, I try to tell the truth, and I guess I will. I tell you this. I'll tell you exactly what happened, because the response that he gave me was just a PR response. And, we actually invited Everett to come on the show. I'm like, Everett, you need to come on the show, talk to people. Let them know where you're at, politically. And, he makes a lot of posts. I will give him that. He talks a lot and everything. But there's a lot of questions that he needs to answer. Things that could make him a potential either really good candidate or a really bad candidate, give or take. But his response, Greg was live the other day. Okay, I must have missed that, because I check his page almost every day. Like I said, we haven't heard from him in a while. We actually invited him on the show as well. He might just be busy with his meet and greets. Good luck to him. But we are going to get Tom. We're going to get Jeff. We're going to get Sam. More likely going to get Dr. Flood, Randy Ivy. We're going to get these people on the show, get their opinions, get their side of what their intentions are, and that way we can make an educated choice. But real quick, to finish that up about Everett, he took offense to something that I said. I told him, when he made a big deal about the Humane Society, the dog pound, he thought that was under his jurisdiction if he was a mayor, and he was wrong. But he did admit that he was wrong. He did admit it. And that takes a lot to admit when you're wrong, and that takes a lot. And one thing, I asked him about every post that he seems to make. It was kind of starting to be a little condescending. Religion was a part of every single post, and all I said was, maybe you need to pull back on that a little bit, because you're almost like you're using that to try to get elected, and God is not a tool for anybody's personal agenda. We all know what religion is and what it's for. He completely took that, haywired, and, he basically sent me a message saying that because I'm running for candidacy 2 years from now, he's worried that my agenda and his agenda will conflict with each other. Well, he's absolutely right. My agenda is for the people, and his agenda for anything beyond that is absolutely right. And now, I'm sure that's not exactly what he was talking about. He wants to make this a college town because he went to college, and that's great. But not everybody can afford to go to college. Hell, not everybody can have the aptitude or the patience or the time to go to college. Some people got to go to work. So we can't just simply make this a college town and say, screw the rest of the population. And that was one thing I had against him. Another thing I got against him and Joe Nichols is like that. And he'll admit to you that he's good friends with Joe Nichols. He thinks Joe Nichols doing a heck of a job. I incredibly disagree. Joe Nichols has been caught lying on hiring somebody 700 miles away and believes that he's doing a good job. I'm sorry, but if you lie while you're in your job, you lied not only to the people, but you also lied to the council and to the media. And he has not paid for it, not one time. We need somebody in there who's going to hold people like that accountable. Him and Joe was neighbors, good relationship established there. That scares me. That is a creation of what, again, could be a good old boy system. And I'm sure he's going to make an incredibly long post telling me how wrong I am. But this is something me and him have already talked about. I believe Everett's got some good ideas. I believe Everett's got some bad ideas, just like anybody else, just like I have. But I will say this, when you completely go around the world to not want to answer tough questions, you don't want to come on the KC show, that's fine. But you're wanting to sit here and say that you're worried about our agendas. Let me tell you something, my agenda has been clear since day one. And like I say, anybody who I feel like is not wanting to go on this show or even in public to speak, it shows weakness. It shows maybe a little bit of, if you're not able to take criticism now, there's no way he's going to take it as a mayor. And I'm saying this all for him you need to rectify it now to give yourself a chance come November. Quit taking things personally. That's step number one. Number two, you've got to dismount yourself as a friend to people that are already in office that are going to be a big part of your job when you become mayor. You got to start looking at things objectively. You can't say, well, Joe Nichols is doing a good job. He's a good friend of mine. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that Joe Nichols was a good friend of mine, but when I take this job, he will then become nothing but a colleague, and I will be monitoring everything with a fine-tooth comb at what he's done, what he's going to do, and what he has done. That's the answer. And it don't take much. How many times did I have to mention God in my sentence to get that point across? God, it's okay to let people know that you're a Christian. That's a great thing. But when you keep pushing it over and over and over and over, every time you talk, that's all you're saying. People start to raise an eyebrow. Okay, now you're kind of using it, and that's what I meant. So hopefully that clarifies everything. Like I say, I don't know where I'd go, where I'm headed on that one. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. But in my opinion right now, I wouldn't be confident in really extending my support to him right now. That's just my opinion. Again, that is my opinion. Jacob, sometimes, brother, as hard as I can say, sometimes things are better left unchanged in some situations. Now, again, there's a lot of things I cannot tell you. There's a lot of things I can't say or do, though I know it, though I've verified it. It does no good because then it becomes a slamming thing. What I'm trying to do is give people advice, information to try to fix, because this is what people are telling me. This is what people bring to me. This ain't just my opinion. This is what people message me, bring to me every day. So I give this to the people who are running to better their candidacy. That's it. We've invited Harold Thompson on now. That's probably going to be tough. I don't know how much we give him a hard time on the show, but that's okay. That is what you're going to be in the eye of the public. You're running for public office. You're now taking money from the taxpayers. You will answer, and you're going to have to take criticism, good and bad. Like I say, there's a lot of ideas that Everett has that is good. Everett's a smart guy. But also Everett can be a dangerous guy if him and Joe are as close as he says they are. That, to me, I'm sorry, is not a good combo. He's got to distance himself from anybody who's a friend. And he might. He might. When he gets in there, he might hold Joe's feet to the fire more than anybody ever could. Who knows? But he's got to show me that. He's got to address it. He's got to quit hiding from it. And don't hide from the KC show, because the KC show is going to find you. You worried about what we're saying now? What are you going to do when you become mayor? We're going to be there, brother. So that's just my take on that one. It's a tough one. I would love to say more on both candidates. I would love to say more. it's just tough. But good luck to him. I told him that. I said, good luck to your candidacy. I said, but if you're not willing to take these kind of criticisms, then politics is not for you, brother. That's it. And I don't care who he is. I don't care if he's Donald Trump, anything. You taking anything that personal, and don't bother to even message me. Talk to me about it. Hey, Kyle, can you clarify what you said? No, you just simply take it at what you believe it was at word value, and that was it. Can't have that. Not going to have that. I will never give support to you if you're going to be that way with your candidacy. So hopefully he addresses it. I'm sure he'll make a mile-long post. You need to shorten your post, by the way. Just kidding. They are a little long. Just shorten them up a little bit. People, I'm telling you, trust me. Take it from me. They read about that much, and then I'm out. And if I'm doing it as much as I read, I know other people are probably doing it too. Now, there may be some who read it all the way through, but very minimal. Tina says, I have talked to Tom, and I think he will be the best man for the job. He talked to us, told us what he wanted to do and how he wants to change this town and help it. I was very impressed. And Tom has talked to me as well. I've talked to Jeff. I haven't really got to talk to Sam, and that's not a fault of Sam. I just don't want to bother him with his job. He has a lot going on, and that I have not reached out to him or anything. I always get a little timid about wanting to talk, to cops and sheriffs and stuff like that, because they have a lot going on, and I don't want to get in the way of that. So that's on me there. But I'm sure he'll have plenty to say at the debate, and I look forward to it. Yeah, Amanda, that gets tough. Posts like that, guys, I'm telling you, any candidates, all candidates, do not make your post that long. Keep it about right there, and just split it up into days. People will read it more. No problem, Mary. I do my best. Like I say again, just ask questions. People who know these candidates, talk to them. People who used to be neighbors of them, really talk to them. They can tell you a lot more about a person than you'll ever probably get from the candidate themselves. So just an ideal. Like I said, Tom is at the Veterans Park. If you happen to be nearby, go and check him out. I believe Jeff will be. Let me pull it up. I don't want to lie. Send somebody somewhere. Let me pull up Jeff's itinerary real quick. I should have this saved on my computer, but I don't. Sorry. Jeff will be tomorrow. All right. Oh, man. There was an update. Oh, man. I'm going to scroll through it. If somebody knows where he's going to be at tomorrow, let me know. I shared his itinerary, but I just can't find it. Of course, when I need it, I can't find it. But he'll either be in Cross Keys or in Carlisle tomorrow. I can't remember which one. Double check on his page. Go look at his meet and greet as well. Like I say, whether you're for them or against them, go out there and listen to them. Hear what they've got to say. You never know. That candidate may be more up your alley than the candidate that you're supporting, so you never know. So we're going to be getting prepared for the debate. Again, don't forget, right here above my head, as you can see, the email, if you want to send a question to us to ask a question with a debate, because we had a lot of questions come through, but we still need more. I have a ton of questions, me personally, that I haven't wrote down yet, but we need more questions. And I'm going to tell you, there's been some great questions I ain't even thought about. Good questions that we need, because everybody thinks differently. We're going to question everything on, do they feel like a reform is needed, in the police, and things like that. I don't personally believe it is. I believe it's now become a citizen that needs to be reformed on how you should act and conduct yourself, have pride in it. And when a cop reacts to your irresponsible actions. We can't ask a cop to change his ways because you changed yours. The cops' ways have been pretty steady over the decades. There are bad incidences with cops and stuff like that on white and black sides. There's people who shouldn't be cops, but I come from also the times where a butt whooping is a heck of a lot more impactful than sitting in a corner in timeout. But capital punishment as far as that with your kids, that's kind of something that's fading away. And maybe that is the reason why we're starting to see an increase of things that we see in the streets. People, kids don't know any better because they haven't really been disciplined properly. But yeah, Holly, that I don't like. I do not like that at all. He has a registered address, and he says he has a home here in Union, and that's something that we would like the mayor to come on and address. It's things like that they need to address. They want your vote, but they don't feel like they got to get out here and earn it. And like I say, and that goes for anybody. I like Greg Addison, but he's going to answer to the same Kyle. I think a lot of them. We've talked a lot. We see a lot of things on ideals, but here lately it's kind of like he's distanced himself from us, the show, and that may not be the case. It's just how it's presented. You can't do that. You got to stand fast. Stay fast with who you are, with what you are. You cannot be persuaded from people around you. You got to stay. You got to take that noise, shield it off, and you got to stay down the track that you're going. And sometimes people are easily intimidated, and those are not the people that you want in politics. It's easy to manipulate. Kyle, you want to be live on November 3rd? Absolutely. Yes. I will definitely be live. We will have, hopefully, our seat. It's going to be very crowded in there. I done forgot her name. It was right there on the tip of my tongue, and I just lost it. Darlene. Miss Darlene has been very kind to us, been very acceptable for us to be able to come out there and allow us to record the live updating of votes, which in my opinion has caused a bigger voter turnout because people are more interested if they can visually see this. And she has been very, very accommodating to us, and we couldn't thank her enough. And we hope she gives us one more day and allows us to have our cameras there to keep people live updated. And we'll see her again 2 years from that. But she has been awesome. She deals with a lot of stuff, a lot of crap, a lot of attitudes. Just me sitting in those two elections, I tell you, man, I've seen some people come over there and get downright rowdy, because they didn't register to vote in time, and they kind of threw the blame on her, which is absolutely not her fault or her problem, So she takes a lot of grief for what she does. So I really, really, really appreciate Darlene, and so should y'all. So yes, I will definitely be there. But yeah, I am definitely, again, one more time, Holly, I'm definitely against that. If you are taking taxpayers' money, you damn sure better be in this town to donate tax money. When you go and buy groceries, you need to buy it here in Union if at all possible. I'm not telling you where to go shop, of course, but I'm telling you that if you're going to take money from this town, you should be able to take that money that you're making and give some back to the town as well. It's a circle that needs to be established, and that is one big thing that I believe that Everett does have over Harold. So something that Harold needs to address, but you don't hear nothing. I have not heard anything from Sonia Craig. I've not heard anything from Harold Thompson, and some of the others that are running that are currently sitting. You just don't hear anything. Ricky Harris, I really haven't heard nothing from them, and it's almost like they think they have it in the bag. And they're right to a point almost, because it is so hard to get somebody unseated. It's so hard. But that is where you come in. That is where Union County had the biggest percentage turnout in July for the Democratic runoffs, for the runoff races, we had the highest percentage out of any town in the state of South Carolina. That's something to hang your damn hat on right there. I mean, if that don't jack you up and get you excited to know that people in Union County are tired of being taxed to death with no benefits while these people who sit in these offices don't give a crap. We're tired of it. And that message will never change. We've gotten rid of five people that were a major establishment that were a part of the major establishment that was not good for our town. We got rid of 5 people in a year. 5. And it ain't like they were good people. They just got caught up in the wrong thing. No, they were bad people. Bad people. Mary Pell, let's see. Let's see, Jeff. And again, you know what y'all were talking about in the chat. This is something that we're going to bring up in the debate. You know, we're going to bring that up. We're going to talk about, you know, experience and all those things. So it's all going to get addressed Friday. We're not going to leave a question unturned. They're going to be hard questions. They're going to be tough questions for them to answer, and that's what a debate should be. Questions shouldn't be so softball. You know, hey Tom, what's your favorite color? Hey Jeff, what's your favorite car maker? You know, I mean, we need tough, hard questions because their reaction to those questions, their facial reactions, how they're reacting as we're doing the debate, that shows a lot about them. Shows whether or not they're telling the truth, shows not whether or not they're lying. You know what I mean? So a lot of good things. Does anyone know how much our homeowners insurance will increase since the county council just passed the first reading to hire a county fire coordinator, which will increase each home ruled the ratings? And we have got to talk to Frank Hart about this. We've also got to talk to Frank Hart about why we were supposed to have a county-wide audit on properties. And it's been delayed for another couple of years. And let me tell you why. These properties are not increasing. There's only a certain percentage of properties that are increasing in value. The rest of them, boom, they're decreasing. So what does that mean for Union County? That means that when there is an appraisal done of all these properties, 10%, I'm going to go as high as 10%. Say 10% of probably the properties in Union County are going to go up. And I'm going to say that probably the rest of them, let's just say 20, 30, 40%, it's not going to be that much. I say about 30% of that, you're going to stay about the same. But the rest of it, your values are going down because the town, I don't care what nobody says, you got to look at the number. The town is dying. The town is dying because people, instead of fighting anymore, they're just getting out. They're just leaving. They're tired of it. They're leaving Union County. And that's why you only see, like if I bring up somebody who's part of the establishment, who works with the county, that's why you see so many people coming to the bat to defend them and people not defending my words because they're gone. They're leaving. They're leaving it to the wolves. I'm out of here. This town ain't worth it. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate they don't stay and fight. But to see the town dying the way it has, we went from 33,000 people from 2011 or 12, now down to 28,000, probably less than that now. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get absolutely worse. Until we start making real changes that won't make you popular, but changes that will affect the popularity of Union County. But what happens when these properties go down, so does your taxes. Your property taxes go down. And they can't afford it. I mean, he'll tell you the truth, we can't afford it. So if it goes down, millage has got to go up. You know, it's going to offset itself one way or another. But then it's going to also affect, when millage goes up, it's going to also affect people whose property values have gone up. They've been well maintained or added on, stuff like that, and they're going to get a double whammy. And I get that. But for the majority of the time, you're probably going to have a lower value of property. I know this is different from the topic, but some documentaries, the plot against our President Trump card, Trump on Dish Network on Demand, Fox Nation, I could share plots against the president. There's a lot of plots. I still see a lot of people wanting to talk about the Russia thing. Like I hear Kamala Harris, and now that we have government documents that were showing that Hillary Clinton, Obama, Biden, all of them knew that Hillary Clinton was going to start the Russia hoax to get the attention off of her. Biden knew it. They can't deny it. They can argue all they want. Obama knew it. Obama allowed treasonous actions to happen to a presidential candidate because they simply wanted to win. Now, if Nancy Pelosi and them are so secure in the fact that they know Biden's going to win, why are they doing all these rule changes? Why are they trying to do all these rule changes? Mail-in ballots. Now she's trying to come up with this 25th Amendment because she knows that Biden... Did y'all hear Biden again the other day? Said he's running for Senate? I'm telling you, this guy, he's got dementia. So they know this. Kamala Harris is their horse. It's Biden who they just got to ride in. Once they're in there, they're going to say that Biden has dementia. They're going to remove him from office, and Kamala Harris is going to become the president of the United States. And AOC probably is going to be your vice president or Nancy Pelosi. That's your future, riding under the leftist, the Democrat, that hard leftist. We keep calling them Democrats, but not every Democrat's the same. Not every Republican's the same. I believe there's a lot of good Democrats in this town that don't agree with what their representatives are doing in the House and in the Senate. They don't agree with that. But they still stand fast to what a Democrat is originally supposed to be. And they're trying to change that. Get Democrats back who believe in the beliefs that the Democrats were born on, which was actually to fight for the poor. God, poor, that was democratical ways. And it was always to be that the Republicans were supposed to be for rich, but it's kind of done a 180. Now the Republicans are fighting harder for the poor than the rich. And the proof's in the pudding. Yeah, Roebuck and Moore are growing at a crazy pace, and eventually it should start trickling down. Packlet is actually growing. They got a home, an area that's houses are being built, and they're being sold before they can even get them things built. So growth is everywhere around us, but in the Union. And that's something that they're not wanting to pay attention, that they're not wanting to address. Why can't, okay, let's step outside of what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring businesses and stuff like that. Okay, let's try to bring some homes into Union. Okay, we're not having success in bringing in businesses. Now let's possibly look at trying to make housing industry grow in Union. What can we do? Maybe as a county, can we go and buy a purchase, find a lot of land, start building some homes, like HOA areas, stuff like that, and start building nicer, newer homes to where people want to come and live. I don't know how you go about doing it. I have no idea. The only way you do know is to bring it to the table and talk about it. So the economy is still booming. If you look at the economy the way it is now, even at its worst under Trump, was much better than it has been in the last 15 years, if not longer. which means under Obama's administration and George Bush's administration. George Bush probably had the worst economic, and they're going to always blame it on 9/11. Of course, 9/11 had a lot to do with it, but not to the point of where it crashed the housing market. That was due to the fact of fraud and the housing industry not being under any regulations. They were just doing whatever they wanted, and nobody was held accountable. Not a single person. Not one person went to jail for the 2008 housing market crash. Not one person. Yeah, the most important thing in this vote is our House and our Senate. Yes, our president matters the most, but our House, we got to get the House back. We have got to get this House back under Republican control so that way they can get to work, get the stimulus. Think about it this way. If the House was Republican ran, we would have had another round of stimulus sent out to us by now. Think about that. Nancy Pelosi, that's why they're trying to have Nancy Pelosi removed as Speaker of the House, because she's refusing to do anything. She's refusing to talk, and that is the point of her job. She's the third person of power, and if you're not willing to come to the table and negotiate with your own people, what are you going to do if something happens to Pence and Trump, and then you become the president of the United States, my God? And what are you going to do? Cross your arms every time Putin don't want to come to the table, or Kim Jong-un, or any of the other ambassadors, Queen of England? I mean, come the hell on. Grow up. But she won't. But we've got to get the House, and we got to keep the Senate. We have got to keep those two under the power of the Republican, and that way we can start getting things done. We're going to get our health care back. We'll get our stimulus. We'll get our businesses booming. I mean, it will be such a beautiful time to be a part of America, working America. To the people who riding out on, welfare and benefit stuff like that, yeah, you'll have a nightmare. Now, people who need it, people who actually are deserving of this, you're fine, and your Medicare and your Medicaid is all fine. Your Social Security is going to be just fine. But it's people who try to sit here and file disability when they are in much better shape than all of us. And they got welfare and they got food stamps and stuff like that. No. Bull. Get your butt to work just like the rest of us. And that's exactly what they're going to do. And they can't stand that. That free ride, man. That free ride. I mean, I think we all can say we're tired of supporting a lot of bums who were too lazy to go to work. I know 2 of them right off the bat. 2. And they're in better shape than I am. They could work harder than I could probably. And they've been riding them government funds for years, and ain't a damn thing you can do about it, because believe me, I've tried. That's right. I mean, that's awesome, Lori. Lori says, I've helped register several first-time voters. Tiffany says, it's the ones who have made a career of living off the government, and that's exactly right. I mean, your career is just going and filing with food stamps every month. That's as much work as you do. And you're the ones who's out here in the street. You can't go to work, but you can run 8 miles down the road, catch buildings on fire, throw bricks through windows. You got that ability. But you don't have the ability to go to work. Just like illegals. As soon as they come into this country and they file with the government and they're illegal, I'm not even talking about legal aliens. I'm talking about illegal aliens. Once they get that little pass, that little green card, they're in this country making $3,500 a month right off the bat. Yet your vets, your wounded vets, your veterans, your You're disabled. You're elderly. They're sitting here living off $1,500 a month, $1,700 a month. Can't get no good insurance. Vets are just now being able to get decent insurance because of Trump. But yet we don't ask about this. We don't question this stuff. We just want to vote for whoever's popular, whoever can speak the best. We're not worried about the dirty crap that they're doing behind closed doors. We're worried about, okay, well, can he relate to me? Is he my same skin color? Did he grow up the way I grew up? Bull. I don't care about that. I don't care that Trump's white. Don't give a damn. I'm worried about what can he do to better this country that is under attack. Guys, we can call it what it is. We're under attack by 3 countries. And I say 3 because they're the dominant 3. You got China, you've got Korea, and then you got Russia. Russia is all for Joe Biden because they know that Joe Biden is a pushover. China, he's already under the pockets of China. If not all the Democrats are under the pockets of China, and hell, probably some Republicans too. That's why you see all your leftists, all your Hollywood actors against Trump, because a majority of their money, probably 90% of it, is China funded. And who does China hate? Donald Trump. It's stupid. And then they want to talk about his taxes. His taxes are just as legal as mine and yours. When people are sitting here finding loopholes like they're tax deducting donations or they're tax deducting 8 kids that they don't have, that's the same thing Donald Trump was doing, except he did it legally. He had accountants do it. They followed the rules. There wasn't nothing illegal he did. We don't judge morality. And to the fact that this man did not want to pay taxes, oh, what a disgrace. Half the Democrats on the left ain't paid taxes in years. It's a don't do as I do, you just do as I say when it comes to the leftists. You can't do what we do, but you do what we tell you to do. Yeah, right. So that's it for tonight. I was just wanting to let everybody know that we should be back Thursday night at the Elks Lodge to give a new little venue for our show. We're ready for the debate. We're also ready to let people know there's going to be a few of these elections where we're going to say kind of who we're on the side of and who we're kind of against, because if we know that there's some candidates who are on this list that are not capable of doing the job, or they shouldn't be in the job now, we have to speak up. We're not trying to sway people's votes, but we're going to give you information to maybe clear your judgment, to better your judgment. And, it's nothing personal against any of these people. It's nothing personal. But you are hired to do a job, and if you don't do it efficiently, you don't do it properly, then your butt has got to go. You take your personal feelings and you shove it out the door, because we're not worried about your personal feelings. It costs a lot of money for you to run those offices. It takes a lot of money. And I'm not talking about what they get paid. What they get paid is very little. Honestly, council members, they get paid very little. The mayor don't get paid nothing anymore. Joe Nichols is up there making a killing. And that's why I feel like he should have his feet to the fire more than anybody. But to know that possibly he has a friend who's trying to run for mayor. Joe Nichols has enough friends on that council. That's the way I'm looking at it. He has enough friends. Now, what his relationship is between him and Harold, I can't imagine that it's more than just, colleagues, work. I don't know that. I'm speaking way out of turn, probably even, but that's probably the way I feel of it. I mean, whether Harold's doing a great job or a bad job, the man should be allowed to do his job in the time that he was hired to do it. He was hired for 4 years as mayor, and it was taken from him by the council. That to me is wrong. I've said that from day one. But that's something that we need to have councils bring back to the ballot We need to get out of this council strong and get back to mayor strong. We have got to get out of this council strong. $150,000 for a position that is unaccountable. He holds no accountability to the people. He answers to you, he does not answer to you. He answers to the council only. He does not answer to you, the person. Only to the council does he answer. So a man that's making $150,000 in the city of Union answers to 7 people. 7 people out of 28,000. You could call him right now and tell him he's doing a crappy job and that you wish he'd get fired. You know what he's going to say? Oh, well, that's your opinion. He ain't got to worry about it. Can't have that. We have got to get back to Mayor Strong Council. And I believe that's something that I believe that Harold Thompson would be behind. If we could get that on the ballot, I believe we could get this town, this city, give the power back to the mayor like it's supposed to be. Oh, okay. Also, I have a friend who completed her poll manager training. She has instructed us to share the information. Pay close attention to your ballots when signing in. If they place a mark on your ballot, a star, a check mark, an R, or a D, don't accept it. It can be rejected by the machine. So make sure you take a look at your ballot. Make sure your ballot goes through. When it goes through the machine, it lets you know that it's an accepted vote. Don't leave there until you've verified that. So make sure that you verified your vote was counted. Well, now, Dennis, I can't say that Obama did send money out. It was either him or Bush. Remember, they sent out what was it, $400 that one time to families? I think that was during the economic crash. I can't remember, but they sent a little money, but nowhere near as much as what the Trump administration did, for sure. But guys, thank y'all for watching. The debate's going to be great. If you want to attend, come on down. We're going to try to have drinks, snacks, so that way, everybody can be comfortable. We just ask that when you come, turn off you ain't got to turn your cell phones off, turn them down, make sure there's no volume from the stream if you're watching it. The ringers, everything off. If you're going to bring children, please just make sure we can keep them as quiet as possible so that way we can hear the candidates properly. We can hear the questions and the answers properly. We will give a break halfway in between for about 10 minutes. That way people don't get bogged down. These things, they go so long and they don't give people a break to kind of, let me get up, let me stretch. I don't want to miss nothing. We're going to do that. We're going to give a break in the middle of our debate and give every candidate a break and the people a break. And it's good. It's good for the brain. So, guys, I thank y'all for watching. I thank y'all for your support. You're freaking awesome. You're awesome. And we're going to show them whether they want to come on the KC show or not. They're going to have to deal with the KC show because guess why? We're a part of the vote. You can be afraid of it or you can come and take it on head first. And those are the people that earn my respect and my votes. People who are willing to come on this show and answer questions. Let me ask you something. Have I ever asked a BS question? Have I ever disrespected a candidate here live on this show? I've always been cordial. I've been professional. I've never asked a question that is beyond ridiculous. Matter of fact, if you go back and watch when I have Frank Hart on the show, I even muted the show to simply ask him a question about when his daughter was interning at the Drug and Alcohol, because I wasn't going to do that. I was going to, get his permission first. That's how much respect we do have, but we do want to ask the hard questions, and that's what we do best. And if they're not capable or wanting to answer these questions, they got people around them. Oh, don't go on that show. That's bad for it. No, this show showed you back in July what this show's all about. The two candidates that we supported out of the Democratic race, those two candidates won by triple the amount of votes. We're not talking by 4 or 5 votes, guys. We're talking about triple the votes. Carl and Jeff destroyed the other 3 because of the things that we were able to shed light on here on this show. People watch this show, and they know that we tell the truth. If we weren't telling the truth, we wouldn't be bothering them. So you can either show your guts and come in here and handle it head first, or we'll see you if you're elected. One way or another, you're going to have to deal. Because then you answer to me. You answer to these people because now you're a tax-paid employee, an elected public official. You will answer the questions then. You have no choice. You can choose to ignore it, but all it's then is just going to show exactly the type of candidate that we believed you to be. We've shown it already. We're going to show it again. So, enough of that. We appreciate y'all. Good luck to all the candidates. Take the things that we say as advice, not as a personal insult. You got to get out of your feelings. Start thinking, writing this stuff down. Talk to people. And when I say talk to people, I mean people outside of the freaking circle that you're in. Of course, they're going to tell you, you're doing a great job. Don't worry about it. Remember, it was David Taylor's people around him who convinced him to run. And look what happened. It was me who told him, don't do it. Don't do it. Go home, be with your family. Don't go through this crap anymore. Who should he have listened to, probably? So, y'all take care. We'll see y'all again Thursday. Can't wait. And we'll be looking forward to any more candidates that want to come on the show. We got a few lined up now. Hopefully line up a few more before the election. But if not, good luck to those candidates. But we will have to remember that you're not willing to participate in a media outlet that people are watching and responding to. It ain't because Kyle wants you on here. You need to come on because people are watching this. And they get to see you live. And they get to ask you questions live. It's the only interaction where people and the candidates can really connect on a massive base. This is it. There's imitators out there, but we can't be duplicated. What we've done in the past year never be duplicated. Because it takes truth, it takes transparency, and it takes honesty to get to where we have gotten with this show. It's been a lot of hard days, but I tell you what, I wouldn't trade any of them. Because what we've been able to do is incredible. And when I say we, I don't mean us. I mean what we, you and us together, because that's it. If it weren't for y'all watching, I'm just talking to a damn microphone. But people are frustrated. They're tired. They're tired of it. They come up all the time. We support you, Kyle, and I appreciate that. But you're not supporting just me. You're supporting yourself. You are making your life better. You just don't realize it yet. And I promise you, we will keep fighting because we know what we got to do. And so do y'all because y'all are waking up every day. But that's enough out of me. Guys, y'all take care. We'll see y'all again